let's turn our attention, at least for a moment, to some of the business news today. We have new data showing the U.S. beating its pre-pandemic economic predictions and outperforming other advanced economies. If you look at GDP and you look at job growth. David Peters is our guest on the business today. He's financial advisor, certified public accountant, and founder of Peters Tax Preparation and Consulting. All right, welcome to the show, David. You know, it's interesting. We've been having these kind of big picture discussions on the economy, and is it really as it seems? And then you get a number like this that says, you know what, it's better than a lot of people seem to think it is. How do you see it?
Well, I think that that's true. I think, though, that a lot of times people's view on the economy a lot of times depends on what metric that you happen to be looking at. I think there's been a lot of focus on inflation, I think especially over the last couple of years, and I think that that is the one that I think, really hits people the hardest, and it's kind of most apparent, I think, to the average consumer. But like you pointed out, I mean, in general, I think, the economy is actually in good shape in a lot of different ways. I mean, for the most part, we've seen higher stock markets and we've seen low unemployment rates. We backpedaled a little bit on that here last month, but generally speaking, low unemployment and job creation.
A lot of it depends on what the Federal Reserve does with how it's interpreting this economy right now in terms of its timing and when rates will come down. I have an article from the AP. The headline on it is inflation pressures are lingering from the pandemic, and it's keeping the Fed rate cuts on pause, which we all know. But, you know, this delay in rate cuts with inflation pressures kind of bedeviling the economy, as the AP writes, it is a lingering force from the pandemic that I think a lot of people would have predicted would have been gone by now. Are you surprised how long it's taken to work through this and get to a point where we actually have interest rates moving lower rather than moving higher or standing pat?
Yeah, I am. I actually was one of those that thought that we were going to see some changes in interest rates and seeing interest rates lower sooner than what we've seen. However, we're at where we're at. I think that, that a lot of us now are looking at this as being more of a long-term problem and something that we're going to basically be facing for a good bit of the rest of this year.
Let me talk to you a little bit about what I would think is something you talk to your clients about all the time, their retirement. Because Goldman Sachs had some numbers on retirement. We'll put them up. These are new numbers on their survey. 45% believe they're behind schedule. 55% have a personalized plan for retirement. And they probably don't know it, but they're behind schedule too. No, I'm joking. But it's just we see these surveys all the time that say people just haven't saved enough. I think kind of normal people look at that and say, how is it possible to save this much? What the experts tell me I should save, I don't make enough, or whatever the situation is. What do you tell people when they come to you and say, I got to get my act together when it comes to my retirement?
Well, I think that everybody's different, but at least with my clients, I mean, especially if they feel like they're behind, I like to sort of dig into why exactly they feel that way. I mean, what exactly is sort of driving that perspective? Is there a number that they have in their head that is maybe sort of dictating that they feel like they're behind, or are they really that far behind? And so I think sort of sitting down and really kind of helping people understand how much they really need in retirement, and also what retirement looks like for them, I think that can make a big difference. I mean, for some people, retirement is that I am moving to an island, and I'm living better than I did during my working years. And then for other people, it's like, hey, I'm pretty happy in my own house, and I like the way I'm living right now. Those are two very different things.
And for still others, apparently, it's playing dominoes or looking at your phone with your wife, and possibly, what was that other video? I don't know where we get these videos. Somebody I was playing chess. So, apparently that's what we're supposed to do when we retire. I think the serious point to be made here is that, and maybe this is what you're getting at, is that have your expectations be realistic. Maybe you're not going to have the exact same life you had when you were working and making X.
Yeah, and that's and when you realize that somebody is falling short of their retirement goals and they really can't make it, that's where the financial advisor needs to step in and say, these are the trade-offs that we need to start looking at, and also asking the client, what are the trade-offs that you want to make? Are there certain things that you say, that we want to do this, or is it something where we need to make some hard choices? Maybe we need to work longer, or maybe we need to modify our housing or move into kind of some sort of a lower cost area.
All right, David Peters, thank you for your time. Interesting stuff there. Thanks so much for watching. Just go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.